Welcome back to the Whisky Couch here in sunny South Africa. My name is GUSTAV MULLER and the adventure continues because today is the fifth whiskey in this series that I'm doing on Famous Grouse whiskies. The fifth whiskey that I'm going to review, and I'm excited because we're getting to the big guns. This is the Famous Grouse 18-year-old, and contrary to the other four that I've reviewed, this is a blended malt and not a blended whiskey. So no grain whiskies in this, only single malt whiskies, 18-year-old and bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. And this is the 75 centiliter bottle, and it's got a cork at the top and not like yesterday's 12-year-old, a screw cap. Very nice little brochure thingy here at the top. Famous Grouse 18-year-old with some information there and a flavor wheel. Very nice. And as far as I know, this is discontinued, unfortunately, and I do not know whether we will see some of this again in the future. Here and there in South Africa, you can still pick this up for 900 Rand, which translates to what, about 50 pounds. So it's quite rare at this stage, and I'm so excited to have this available to share this review with you today. So when I did the first Famous Grouse whiskey 4 days ago, I did give information about the Famous Grouse brand and the Glenturret distillery, which is considered the spiritual home of Famous Grouse. So I'm not going to go into that again. Today we're going straight to the whiskey. The brand belongs to Edrington, and who also owns Macallan and Highland Park. So we probably have Macallan and Highland Park single malts in this 18-year-old blended malt whiskey. So I poured my dram just before I started the video to give it time to rest a bit. But you can see a tawny color, much darker than the 12-year-old that I did yesterday. Tawny color. Rich, fruity. Even the aroma is thick. Sherry, berry jam. Nuts in the background, vanilla, slight hint of vanilla, and then the oak, old wood oak with baking spices. This is the best nose on the Famous Grouse whiskies that I've done so far, definitely. And according to this nose, this is so promising. I can't wait to experience what is on the palate. Whoa. This is one of those drams that you just want to keep in your mouth. And it is not, the alcohol is not overpowering. Even at 43%, you can just let it sort of mingle there and experience all of those flavors. The richness, the thickness, the creaminess, and the balance between the sweet sherry notes and the spices. Incredible. Full-bodied, 18-year-old, dried fruit, raisins. So lots of sherry cask matured single malts in here. I can even pick up a bit of PX sherry casks. I don't know if I'm mistaken, but there's a little bit of vanilla and honey in the background, and then the soft, bitter, dark chocolate notes on the palate. Baking spices. The finish is long, much longer than a 12-year-old. The 12-year-old is also quite a new whiskey. It only appeared on our shelves here in South Africa about 1.5 years ago, whereas this one I know dates back to about 2011. So a much older version in terms of years ago that it was bottled, and a dramatic difference. Long finish, rich, fruity, nutty, with chocolates and spices, just giving the balance. I'm going to put a few drops of water in here, even though it is so good. I'm afraid that I might spoil it, but let's see what a few drops of water will do to this 18-year-old. More spicy sherry. So the sherry just now without the water was more a sweet sherry, now it's more a spicy sherry. It's smoother, but I think my initial gut feel was right. I should not have added water, so I would not recommend. If I have to summarize, what am I experiencing here? The rich vanilla in the background with the rich dark fruits in the foreground. I would say it makes me think of stewed dates and prunes in a thick custard sauce, dusted with cinnamon and nutmeg. That is sort of the picture that comes to mind if you taste this. So a very special, indeed, a very special whiskey. If you want to pair a whiskey like this, an 18-year-old, more mature, rich, full-bodied, with lots of sherry cask influence, then I would recommend that you connect with the richness, the fruitiness, the chocolate notes, the dried fruits, the stewed fruits. So I would go for a stewed prunes or dates in the custard, rich, thick, warm custard. Fruitcake will work well. It'll connect with the right stuff. Date balls, dark chocolate can work well. But for today, I was so inspired by the Hawaiian pizza that I used yesterday for the 12-year-old that I decided I'm going to go for a pepperoni pizza today with extra olives. So because this is a much richer whiskey, much deeper, more intense whiskey with a bit more spices, I decided to go for the spicy pepperoni and the saltiness of the olives to give a bit of a contrast. And I just have a feeling that this might be quite interesting and adventurous. Sure. So this is interesting. The saltiness from the olives and the spiciness of the pepperoni, and then the sweetness of the whiskey, contrast pairing, and it works very well. Not as good as yesterday's pairing. This whiskey is so intense and so full-bodied. Even that spicy, salty snack did not match up enough with this whiskey. So I would give it a 3.5, maybe a 4 out of 5, whereas yesterday was a definite 4.5 out of 5 pairing. Very good whiskey. I think actually that a beef mince with chutney pizza is going to work a bit better. It's got a bit more in the body, and the fruit chutney will connect here, and the beef mince is going to be a bit more full-bodied. So next time I'm going to try that beef mince and chutney pizza. Man, this is an adventure. Thank you for watching. See you again tomorrow for the last of the Famous Grouse whiskies that I'm going to review. Slàinte.